First, a final countdown to the high-stakes Iran negotiations scheduled for tomorrow in Pakistan. Vice President J.D. Vance leads the American delegation. Meantime, President Trump says the military is ready if talks go south. Senior White House correspondent Jacqui Heinrich starts us off tonight live from the North Lawn. Good evening, Jacqui.
Good evening, Brett. President Trump just wished luck to his vice president envoy Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner ahead of their high-wire act of diplomacy ahead of these talks in Islamabad this weekend. He just laid out two benchmarks, telling reporters that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon and the U.S. will not let Iran control the Strait of Hormuz.
What would a good deal look like for you?
No nuclear weapon, number one.
Vice President J.D. Vance hopeful talks in Islamabad will bear fruit.
I think it's going to be positive. If the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're certainly willing to extend the open hand. If they're going to try to play us, then they're going to find that the negotiating team is not that receptive.
President Trump readying the backup plan, telling the New York Post, we're loading up the ships with the best ammunition, the best weapons ever made. And if we don't have a deal, we will be using them, and we will be using them very effectively. Ahead of the talks, one of the Iranian negotiators in a possible attempt to move the goalposts, saying two of the measures mutually agreed upon between the parties have yet to be implemented, a ceasefire in Lebanon and the release of Iran's blocked assets prior to the commencement of negotiations. Although Trump personally facilitated Iran's demand that the ceasefire apply to Israel's strikes in Lebanon, there's been no public discussion of releasing Iranian assets as a condition to sit down. Trump posting today to Truth Social, the Iranians don't seem to realize they have no cards other than a short-term extortion of the world by using international waterways. The only reason they're alive today is to negotiate. Analysts are warning not to get bogged down in talks that go nowhere quickly.
The longer there is lower oil prices, the lower there's less economic pain, the longer there's less political pressure, it makes it that much tougher in their minds for the administration to go back and finish the job militarily. That, I believe, is really their strategy.
As Republicans resist calls from across the aisle to throttle the president via the War Powers Act.
The president has 60 days. After the 60 days, I think Congress does need to have a much stronger discussion about what happens next, because members of Congress from both parties do not want to see this war continue.
Meantime, the administration is trying to quiet concern about economic impacts with the strait still closed, saying both their economists and futures markets predict a rapid decline in energy costs once the strait gets back to normal. Right now, ships are moving through at about 10% of the normal pace, Brett.
Jacqui Heinrich live on the North Lawn. Jacqui, thanks. Please join Jacqui this Sunday for the Sunday briefing, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Her guests include Israeli Ambassador to the United Nations, Danny Danon, and Tim Sheehy.